Kicking with Dani Luv, kicking with Dani Luv. Healing one day at a time. Settle down, you'll be fine.
Welcome to episode 11 of Love and Laugh with Dani Luv. I'm so happy that you guys have joined us again for episode 11. The name of this episode is I'm Still Standing, 5 Ways to Overcome Adversity. Now, I know about that because if you've been tuning in, you know I've been through a lot of adversity. But I'm really excited because I have a guest, and she's not only a comedian, but she's also an actor, and I've only known her for a little bit. I met her in Texas, I believe, and she's a very great, wonderful person that I know of so far. So I am excited for you guys to get to know her, and I'm excited for this subject. So, concerning overcoming adversity, when you talk about trauma, the brain imaging studies often show that trauma activates the right hemisphere, which is the emotional, intuitive, and the sensory side, while simultaneously deactivating the left hemisphere, which is the logical and the linguistic side. This structural imbalance explains why trauma survivors sometimes find it impossible to put their experience into words. So that left hemisphere, you just like, oh, I have no logic. And the right hemisphere, you be emotional. So that explains why people be like losing it. I know because I deal with trauma. Trauma is overwhelmingly common. You'd be surprised, but it's very common, with the estimate of 50% to 90% of people experiencing a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime. So if you are going through trauma, don't beat up on yourself because it's very common. There are some people who have lucked up and haven't been through anything, but then there's some people who have been through it. Fortunately, most people do not develop PTSD. I have developed it, but most people don't. And with natural healing and effective therapies, a significant majority of people process the trauma, recover their mental well-being. Um, Approximately 70% of the world's population experience a traumatic life event. U.S. statistics in the U.S. About 70 to 75% of adults have experienced some type of trauma at least once, with roughly 30% exposed to 4 or more events. The leading causes are the most common exposures, including witnesses' serious injury or death, the unexpected death of a loved one, being mugged, severe car accidents, and life-threatening illnesses. So it is possible to overcome trauma. Majority of people experience short-term distress after event, but their symptoms naturally abate within weeks. Only about 5% of adults in the US have active PTSD in any given year. Um Overcoming. So the name of this episode is 5 Ways to Overcome Adversity. So I'm big on definitions. Overcoming, it means to successfully defeat, master, or navigate a struggle, obstacle, or negative emotion. It also describes being completely physically or emotionally overpowered to be overcome. Adversity. Adversity refers to a state of serious or continued difficulty and misfortune or distress. It represents situations where circumstances or events work against you, encompassing everything from personal loss and health crisis to financial hardship and systematic challenges. The root and the meaning, the word stems from the Latin adversus, which means turn against or hostile. Now, this is where I want us to go. The purpose of this podcast. I want us to understand the importance of being resilient. According to American Psychological Association, psychological resilience is the process of adapting well in the face of tragedy, threats, or significant stress. It is a learned skill that involves mental flexibility, positive coping strategies, and a strong support system. The term originally comes from the Latin word resiliar, which means to jump back. In science, it refers to the elasticity of a material, its ability to observe energy and spring back to its original shape after being bent, stretched, and compressed. That is definitely me, Miss Resilient. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to go over some some definitions with you guys. Without further ado, I'm very excited to introduce this young lady. Let me see if I could. Oh, it won't let me. Let me see if I could share my screen really quick. Boom, share it. So this lady has a wonderful website that I found, um, and a beautiful bio. And you can go to her website if you're interested. It is Denise Vasquez entertainment.com. And I'm really excited. So, a rebel with a cause, seen on YouTube, Funny or Die, Disney XD, NBC, referred to by the media as a modern day Renaissance woman. Denise is an award winning, multi talented artist, comedian, actress, SAG AFTRA, okay, writer, singer, guitarist, ASCAP, author, and photographer, known for her captivating, energetic, and thought provoking performances. She has been making waves in the entertainment industry, receiving rave reviews from the press and winning numerous awards. Denise was born in Manhattan. She's the youngest of two sisters who spent her childhood in Bronx and her teenage years on Roosevelt Island. After moving from the Bronx to a tiny little island between Manhattan and Queens, she was constantly mistaken for being a gang member for wearing her sassy attitude and favorite pleather coat, standing out everywhere she went. Making people laugh kept her from having to fight bullies. Okay. Yeah, I used to use that. I used to make people laugh and it didn't work. They still beat me up. So she started performing she started performing improv, sketch comedy, and stand up instead. Inspired by George Carlin, Robin Williams. Oh man, my favorite. I love Robin Williams. And Eddie Murphy, my other favorite. Denise realized there is power in how you act, what you say, and the words matter. Denise got her first taste of performing live comedy in the 90s when she auditioned and got cast as a member of Joy Newman's Grown Ups Playground doing improv at the New York Comedy Club. Her stand up comedy journey began in 2013 and she quickly started getting noticed and booked on shows and festivals. Denise has also hosted, produced, and performed in her Won't Plus Men for Applause. like women for applause. I'm gonna let her explain that to us. Comedy and music variety shows at TLC Chinese Theater in Hollywood and Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank until her momentum in comedy was put on hold after an accident landed her in a wheelchair for 3 years. She is back and standing up again, literally covering topics on disability, womanhood, stereotypes, and relationships. Denise has 3 musical albums and has been working on new material for her fourth album and special featuring her funny songs and comedy. You guys, she is the reason why I named this episode I'm Still Standing, 5 Ways to Overcome Adversity. Put your hands together for Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. How are you doing?
Good. I'm alive. I'm kicking. I'm here
Girl, that's a
with
blessing.
you. It is. I'm grateful for every moment, every day. And like you, I've been to hell and back and been through so much in life. And and
Yeah.
it's taught me to appreciate, the good moments especially, but every moment is an opportunity.
You are such an inspiration. Just reading, I read that before. It don't sound like I read it before because my throat is hurting and I'm fighting the whatever, so I sound goofy. But I did. I read it before on my own time, and I'm like, wow, she is very accomplished.
Yeah, I started, thanks to my mom, performing when I was 4, and I'm 56. So I've had a interesting lifelong journey of performing on stage and off, and on amazing projects, and it's been a crazy roller coaster ride.
I need you to manage me because I'm an actor, but I'm not sad. I'm trying to figure out how to get to it.
Yeah, I actually have been a SAG AFTRA member since 1995. So yeah, a long time, a long time.
My husband was born. Say me because I'm a little cougar, but that was when he was born.
I'm a cougar too.
What?
Yes.
United, Cougars United. Oh, why is this not okay? Sorry, I thought we was born here, but we were not. Okay, yes, Cougars United. Oh my gosh, how long have you been a cougar?
I've been with my partner for 20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
Yes. So
Oh,
he's about 5 years younger than me. So
okay. That's not.
yeah.
I can't even share how much older I am. I literally was looking for a sugar daddy because I'm young enough to have a sugar daddy. But me and Malachi met and we just couldn't fight it. We just that's my boo. I love him to life. And some people seek out to be a cougar on purpose, but it wasn't like that. We just connect. We're for each other. He's silly like I am. We're like the same people. We do have some.
So important.
This is
I wasn't looking when I found my man. We were actually friends for a couple of years before we got together, and we knew what the moment we hung out the first time, it was like that was it. That was it.
yes, that's me and my husband. We
Yes.
were just friends. We've known each other since 2018. And shoot, we ended up getting married in 2023. And it's the best relationship I've ever been in. Like he's very intelligent. He said exactly our story. He's emotionally intelligent. Got two parents. And so I grew up in trauma and stuff and but my grandparents saved me and stuff like that. But yeah, it works. It really works. That's my boo thing. I don't know how far I would be without him. So yeah, congratulations, 20 years. Ooh,
20 years.
oh my gosh, that is a long time.
Yeah, he's my best friend, my soulmate. We
Oh,
um, vibe and get along and work together and travel. We both love to travel, and we both are.
yeah.
He's creative like me, and I think that's so important to be with somebody who understands your creativity and who vibes with your creativity and gives you your space that you need to be creative. But also, he's creative too,
Mhm.
and he's an illustrator and amazing talent,
Nice.
and we work really well together. So we've helped each other. I've helped him over the years. He's helped me over the years, and
Aw.
and it's truly a blessing to find somebody who you
Mm.
vibe with, who you get along with, who you laugh with, who you travel with, who you work with, who is your pure happiness. Is it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes. Yeah, because in most cases you'd be ready to kill a person like but it's not like that. It's like this is
No.
my best friend and I'm really
Hmm.
having fun. Like, and they really are creative like me. That's the key. That's a key too. Like
Yes.
it's good to be a creative and be with somebody who's logical too, because they can probably balance you as well. But to be with somebody that's creative like you and supports you, and it's not no jealousy, and y'all can
Hmm.
maybe you should do it this way, and you may agree. Sometimes you may not, but
Right.
it's a help, and it's a blessing to be in that type of relationship.
Yes, especially somebody you can communicate with, right?
Mhm. And who it's not about playing games. Like this is your
Mhm.
want to be no phones, no Facebooks, trying to figure out what is this person doing now, they own crap, like you just feel safe. And it's like, oh, okay, this is my homeboy.
Yep.
my,
No games.
my lover. Yeah, I love it. I love it, Denise. Yay. So I want to ask you a question that I ask every guest, starting with you're the second guest that I've done that. So I'm trying to be consistent because I'm a creative and I'll be over here and over there. So I'm trying to be consistent. So, question for you: what role has laughter played in your life during difficult times?
Laughter has, ooh, it's been my savior, my it's been a way to not just cope with adversity and trauma, and but it's been my way to uplift myself and my spirit and my soul. And when I was a child, I would do silly things and do act outs and put on plays in my mom's living room to make her laugh and to make her happy. And so um yeah, it's played an important role in my life throughout my whole life. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. You started off making people. It'd be funny because, like, as a comedian, you don't realize that you might be a comedian as a child. Because I was a crazy, silly child,
Me too.
and you don't realize it starts off right then and there. I had uh imaginary friends, Susie and Bill, and they went with me everywhere. And at Bible study, not Bible study, at Sunday school, I would have all the kids cracking up because Susan and Billy was right there with me all the time, and they always had something to say. And even my teacher would be like, "Enough," but she would be still laughing. So you funny when you're a kid and the teacher is laughing, but they really want you to stop acting a fool. That's so cool. So you said you would do like shows for your mom?
Yeah, so I mean, I would do everything from like, coming up with crazy characters and writing silly songs and putting on dances and performances, in my mom's living room. I think my friend's dog is like going crazy, but
Mhm.
I would like, just do silly things to uplift, not just my spirits, but my mom's spirits too. My mom was a single mother. She raised my sister and I on her own.
Okay.
So it was, we had some struggles, but we got through it. And yeah, so laughter was a big part of healing, of, kind of getting through the tough times. And um yeah.
We have a lot in common. My mother, she was a single mother. And for me, I felt like it was my responsibility to make my mom laugh because she went through so much, like losing my dog, losing my sister. My sister passed when she was 4 and I was 6.
Oh no,
Just
sorry for your loss.
thank you. She's went through so much, so I always felt like it was my responsibility to make her laugh. Did you feel that way, or did you feel, like it was just like a natural part of you, or
Um, you know, I don't like seeing anybody sad or anybody hurt or anybody going through, hard times or struggling. So, there's always been like this need within my spirit and my soul to kind of, you know, um, help that person in some way, whether, and it started with, my mom and my grandma and myself and my sister, and finding ways to just take the focus away from the hard times onto something more positive and something more um, uplifting. And it's hard sometimes. Like sometimes, when you're going through life and you're going through things, it's hard to, and especially when you're in pain,
Mhm.
to push through that, to be positive. But I've always had something within me that has allowed me to have the um, instinct to uh, just focus on the positive side of life and focus on the good things in life. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's what helped me get back on my feet, literally.
you got yes, I love that. What like, so is it fair to say that you know how to make yourself laugh?
Yes. which is really important. I mean, we could easily get in our heads and get overwhelmed by our emotions or by our pain. And I live with CRPS and chronic pain due to my accident. So,
Mm,
having that skill, and I'll call it a skill, to know how to push through the pain every day and know
mhm,
how to meditate and know how to focus on, positive things. It helps me every single day of my life and has helped me throughout my life, because life is not easy. We're all going to struggle in some way. Nobody's getting out of this life without a struggle, without something.
mhm,
And for the people who haven't felt it yet, they will. It's something that I've seen my whole life, my entire life.
mhm.
And that's why I just created a project, a TV series called Karma is Coming, because nobody escapes this life without karma. Nobody escapes this life without trauma, without something, without the struggle. But that struggle also helps us grow and helps us become stronger. And sometimes it tests us, but I find that, making myself laugh and stepping back sometimes and laughing at myself and laughing at life and saying, just be present, because this moment is the only thing that we're guaranteed.
You're
And
my white twin. Oh my gosh. Everything you said, push through the pain. I always talk about that. I always talk about how you have to meditate, you have to pray. For me, it's praying and meditation. Sometimes Christians feel like they can't meditate, but I listen to some Christian meditation, some and focus on God and focus on positivity and box breathing. I always tell my listeners about box breathing because that's very important, because you want to fill yourself up because something is going to happen. So instead of being like defeated when it happened, you got to be prepared and strong and be like, have the armor of God, as the Bible say, before the wiles of the enemy come at you, so that when he does come, you can fight back and you're not just like,
mhm.
yeah, just beat me up. Oh, you gotta be able to get back up and be like, no, and you might lose, but at least you fighting because you.
Right. You can't stop fighting. You got to keep fighting. And the one thing that, I try to encourage younger people, especially, but everybody, the light that we seek to find is inside of us,
Mhm,
and we have a choice. We have the gift of choice to decide, are we going to dwell in the negativity and the pain, or are we going to, the choice to be happy and to focus on positive things. And
mhm,
um, I like that you're talking about pushing through the pain. I always acknowledge the pain, even when I'm pushing through it. I don't try to pretend that it's not there,
yeah,
but
you
I
got.
try to focus on like positive things in my life so that, I'm not dwelling on the pain. I'm focused on the positive things. And I find that when I focus on positive things and when I'm laughing, they say laughter is the best medicine. It's
Yeah,
like, there's a vibration, there's a feeling inside of you, and it's contagious. The audience can feel it, people can feel it, everybody around you can feel it, whether you're positive or not or negative. So I make an effort, and it's work. Nothing comes easy, but I make an effort to um try to find ways to stay positive, try to find ways to be creative, because being creative is like breathing to me. It makes me feel wonderful. So that's
mhm,
why you always see me doing something. It's like whether, it's music or comedy or acting or writing.
mhm,
Um, that helps me. You talked about depression earlier,
mhm,
and anybody could fall into depression at any time. It's a part of life. It's
mhm.
some people are afraid to talk about it like it's a stigma, but
Yeah,
when I was in the wheelchair for 3 years, I went to my darkest place, and my man was, him and my mom were the only ones that saw me, and they were just like, "That's not you." And I knew it wasn't me, but sometimes things happen in life where you can fall into depression, and you have to find ways to acknowledge it, but you have a choice. Do you want to stay there, or do you want to find ways to
you
exist and be
gotta.
happy, right?
Yeah, because like when you fall into it, it's because you become this person that's not you. Like you are a person who exuberates love. Like love follows you because you are love, and that's just what it is. You have to know who you are. And for me, years I know who I am. But when my brother passed away, I didn't care because a lot of me went with him.
Right.
And so now I'm making a choice now that my brain is able to, because there's chemical imbalances and stuff. Sometimes it's not a choice. You just
Mm-hmm.
on. But now that I'm regulating my nervous system, I'm making choices. Like I want to choose love. I want to choose to help people. Me and my husband, we have a shirt and it says, I don't have it around me, but it says choose love on the shirt because everything is a choice. You made a very good statement. Everything is a choice. I love that. Can you tell me about what exactly happened with you? Like you have so many wonderful stories. You like the type of person I would want to have on here again. Like you are just very intriguing. You have so many things. You're an author. You have music albums. I can sing, and I was just talking to my husband about how I want to do like a comedy music album, but I don't know how to. Like, what made you like? It's so many questions. What made you do the music album? How do
Oh
you do
man.
and then also like what happened with you with the walking and now you're walking again. Like you literally could not walk for 3 years and now you're walking. Like that
You
is
can make me cry, girl.
girl, you are amazing. You are amazing.
Music has always been a part of my life, my whole life. I talk about it in my comedy. My first instrument was a recorder, in elementary school. Um, and growing up, I always had chorus, whether it was in church or in school. And in junior high school, they let us pick an instrument. This was back in the day where music and art was part of the curriculum in school. And so in junior high school, I learned how to play the violin, and then
Me too.
continued. Yeah, see, girl,
You know,
I
yeah, my
I
mom
still have it at home. I would have whipped it out if
I'm
I was at home, but I'm
baby.
on the road right now.
Oh
But
man.
I
See,
felt see, I fell in love with strings, the vibration of the strings. I used to love plucking the violin, and chorus and singing has always been a part of my life. I
wow.
love to sing. It was another way to express myself. As artists, we flow with our muse, and I learned how to step out of the way a long time ago. So sometimes my muse wants to write, sometimes my muse wants to sing, sometimes my muse wants to be silly. So it's all a part of who we are as creators.
Yes.
And I taught myself how to play guitar because I wanted to sing and write, and I love the strings. So
Girl,
I went from like strumming one chord to teaching myself how to play guitar and writing my own songs, and it was just part of my journey.
I need to press pause. You are
Okay.
so disciplined. When I say I tried to teach myself how to play guitar, I started off, I got a whole guitar. I don't know where it's at. I didn't finish because I'm not disciplined. I tried to teach myself how to play piano. I got a whole piano for here. It's hats, it's a wig on this bad boy. It's everything is on this keyboard. e- Everything. I did not learn nothing. I mean, my teacher taught me a little bit and
Right.
kept going if I would have listened, but I did not. You are disciplined, okay?
Well, I think part of it was I lived in the Virgin Islands on St. John for almost 8 years, and when I lived there, I did not have, and this was a choice. I
Mhm,
did not, we didn't have cell phones back then. Thankfully, I'm glad because I didn't have a TV. I had
mm,
a computer for work, but the whole time I was down there, I was creating, I was writing, I was producing music festivals, I
mm.
was painting. I was, working, I was scuba diving. And I find that when we have distractions, when we have distractions in life, the cell phones and the TV sets, it's easy to like get distracted, right? But when you don't have distractions, it's easier to focus and create. And so,
Oh my gosh. I be saying that. I be saying that I wish I could just stay away from my phone. It's
it's hard. It's addicting. It's addicting.
because back in the day, if you couldn't get in contact with the person, you just couldn't get in contact with. You had to wait for the
Mhm.
phone, leave it on the answering machine. They call you back if they want to. They don't call you back if they don't want to. Get done. Like stuff would be done all the time. My grandma's house
Mhm.
was clean. Okay, I be in high school working. Like I barely
Right.
took the phone except for at night when they had two lines, and that was like, ooh, we were rich, And I would be on the phone with my friend, like, having a good old time. But before that, we were not on no phones. We were playing and we were being creative.
Mhm. And I
Oh,
think that's a big part of where my discipline came from was how I grew up and how my focus, especially I was born and raised in New York City, which is the melting pot to me of creativity. My mom would,
yeah.
put us in ballet and she put me in piano classes too, but I just didn't vibe with the piano. I was always a strings person. So to anybody who's thinking about, learning a craft, whether it's guitar, whether it's comedy, whether it's music, I say try everything and see what vibes with you, see what connects with you, see what,
Mm,
because not everything is for anybody, right? And
mhm.
like you, when I first bought my first guitar, I put it in the corner and I looked at it every day for like a year. And then finally one day I was like, all right, I'm going to pick it up. And I started strumming, and it was hard because, you have to build your calluses up on your fingers. I have to do it again because when I got hurt at work and I was in a wheelchair for 3 years. Long story short, I kind of got lost in the workers' comp system, and I wouldn't wish anybody getting hurt at work because there's so much red tape in politics and things that you have to go through to get the proper care, and they kind of screwed me over and made things worse. And had they just let me go to the ER, things would have been taken care of. But it took the system 2 years to get me physical therapy, and by then, I had atrophied all up and down my left side. They created more problems. I have 3 bulging discs in my back. I tore my Achilles tendon. So basically, I was a photographer, and the day was over 100 degrees and they forgot about me. I had no covering, no water. I collapsed, hit the ground, tore my Achilles tendon, screwed up my back, and that was the beginning of hell for me. So 3 years later, when I finally got out of the system, I talked to my lawyer and I said all I wanted to do was get back on my feet.
Mhm.
And so she got me into this amazing program. They interviewed me to see if I was the right candidate for their program because um, I believe in mind body connection. So they were like, she's perfect because you have to believe to achieve
If you
anything in this life.
Yeah.
Power of the mind is an incredible gift. We all have it. And the program accepted me. It's called the Institutes of Health in San Diego.
Okay.
And I worked with amazing nutritionists to learn about, anti-inflammatory herbs and foods and learned how to cook again, even from my wheelchair. And they tried different techniques on me,
Mhm.
from Feldenkrais, which is a technique that comes from Germany, to meditation and yoga and Pilates, which did not, my body was like, don't do Pilates, please don't, So that's why I was saying like different things work for different people.
Mhm.
And then the one technique that they really worked for me that they tried on me was the Alexander technique, which
Oh,
I learned years ago at Lee Strasberg in New York. So my body responded to that because it was familiar.
wow.
And that was the beginning of, me kind of slowly learning a little bit here and a little bit there, like what works for me physically. And then the meditation and the yoga and the art therapy that I learned, kind of visualizing and seeing myself walking and seeing myself hiking, holding my man's hand. And,
Mhm.
it was a long process to get to where I am right now. And, I still pace myself and I still have a fear of stairs, which I joke about in my comedy.
Mhm.
Um, and I still have things that challenges every day that I live with, but I'm not gonna allow and this is my mentality. I have too many things I want to do in life. I have too many things I want to accomplish in life. I want to live. I want to experience things. I want to grow. I want to learn. I want to perform. And so,
Mhm.
I said to my lawyer, I just want to get back to living. Get me out of the system, because some people that I met in the program, they've been stuck in the system for 25 years. And that's not me. I can't stay waiting and sitting and doing nothing and waiting to, I have to I had to get back to living. So,
In this
you
state for
know,
a long time. That's how it was for me when my brother passed. I went through depression, PTSD, and anxiety. They were paying me at first because I worked for 12 years for the state of Michigan. So I'm not the type of person that is like, pay me and I'm not going to do anything. They paid me at first, but then they were like, oh no, you're not depressed. And I'm like, but my doctor say I'm depressed. My therapist say I'm depressed. Like, what?
mhm,
So this guy, he was a doctor and he was a white man and he was very known
mhm,
assuming the worst. He asked me questions that were like had nothing to do with my depression, about my mama, why she, all kind of stuff that had nothing to do. Like if if I'm trying to get over on the system, I'm like, for a person to work at a job for 12 years, does that seem like a person is trying to get over? Because I'm black, I'm supposed to try to get over on the system.
right,
So it was becoming more stressful than anything. And people like, you need to fight it. You need to just keep fighting. People still say that. And I get it. I understand. But it was stopping me from healing.
right.
When I
That
found
was, I get it. I tried to fight the system by myself for a year before I got a lawyer,
mm-hmm,
and my work and the insurance companies, I know what you're saying, because they mess with me too. And they made me feel like I was doing something wrong. And all I wanted to do was heal and get back on my feet and get better. So I get it.
like, come on now, y'all. Y'all supposed to, I paid into this. I paid every other week. I paid into LTD. Like,
Right.
y'all
And
can't.
you feel betrayed because you've given yourself, to these people, and then, they make you feel a certain way. I didn't have anxiety until I went through what I went through, so I get it. It's like you're talking about, I'm like, girl, I know.
They make you feel like you're a bum. And it's like, I've been
Mhm.
I was 7. I'm not a
Mhm.
bum. Like this happened to me and I could not control it. And so
Right.
yeah, asking for help finally, and y'all not trying to help me.
It's because they don't want to pay. That's the
Yeah.
bottom line. They don't want to pay. They didn't want to pay for me, and it ended up in the end
Mm-hmm.
costing them more than if they would have just taken care of everything from the beginning. Because that program that they put me in, right,
Mm-hmm.
cost them a pretty penny every day
Mm-hmm.
for, as the whole time that I was in that program getting back on my feet. So it ended costing them more in the long run, and
More than what they was trying to pay.
mhm.
My husband, he want me to fight it and stuff like that. And I get it, but
It's exhausting too. As strong as we are, as I'm Puerto Rican, so I was raised in a strong household by a single woman who raised me and my sister. But as strong as I thought I was, when it comes to trying to fight the system, it's like they play with you. They play head games. They play mind games. They try to get you to quit. They try to manipulate you. They try to get you to just give up. And the mind game that they did on me, that number, it took me like, not only did I go through physical therapy when I went to the Institutes of Health, but I had mental therapists
mm-hmm.
to help me. I felt like my mind was over here and my spirit was over here and my body was over there. And so the mental therapist, I said, you guys got to help me come back to my center,
Yeah.
because I felt like they did such a number on me that I was just I was not whole. And so part of my healing process, once they pulled me out of work, thankfully I got a lawyer who was like, you're not dealing with that. The only way you're going to heal is to get away from that situation and focus on healing. And so it took a while for me to come back to my center,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the games that they play.
Yeah.
Games people play. Remember that song?
Into
Right. Mhm.
Yeah, they play too many games. It's like, why can't you
Mhm.
do what you're supposed to do? So it's hard to be resilient, especially when you're going through that. You're trying to get everything. One thing that you touched on one point, because we were talking about 5 ways to overcome adversity. One thing that you said is your mindset. You have to make sure that you don't have a victim mindset, but you have a learner mindset.
Right.
That's the first one, because if you have a victim mindset, you're not going to overcome adversity. You're going to stay in it,
Right.
and it's just that's just what it's going to be, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, the first thing to me was acknowledging my feelings and
Mm,
acknowledging what I was going through and acknowledging that, sometimes we have good days and sometimes we have bad days. But to me, like an important thing is acknowledgement.
mhm.
And from there, once you acknowledge like how you're feeling or what you're experiencing, it's from there you can make your choice to, do I want to stay here, or do I want to feel bad, or do I want to feel good? And
Mm.
then from there it's like, okay, well, what can I do to feel better? Whether it's stand-up comedy or writing. Like, I find that writing is so important. That's something I've done my entire life, is writing in journals and writing poems and writing stories, because
Mm.
I find that for me, when I write, have a thought and I have a pen, and I'm old school, I still write with the pen and on index cards or notebooks or paper, because it's like getting whatever it is I'm feeling out, and sometimes I paint, same thing. It's like whatever I'm feeling emotionally, get it out, like, with
Oh
with
yeah,
that movement.
it's
So
so therapeutic. I can't.
mhm.
My mom, when she was alive, she knew how to paint really well, and just I try it sometimes, and it is very therapeutic. I forgot about that. Or even just
Yes.
doodling. You don't even have to have
Yeah, doodle, right. It's not about like, when I went to the program, it's like I hadn't painted for years.
hmm
And part of the therapy was, one of the options was art therapy. And I was like, yes, I want to do that. And they had us drawing with crayons or paint or whatever we had. And it was like abstract, or sometimes they would show us how to do mandalas. And it was just about getting your emotion and using colors
out there.
to acknowledge how you're feeling, and to see it was really spectacular, to actually see like, oh wow, to step back and go, I
Love it.
chose these colors. Like, you have certain colors in your palette and that you are connected to, even on the colors that you wear with your clothing, right? There you go.
Yeah. Well, you can't see it because
I can't see it. I know you're holding something up.
yeah, I painted something.
Nice. But it's for me,
hmm
acknowledging how you feel, making the choice to how you want to feel, and
hmm
then taking the steps to doing things that will keep you happy,
It's funny because my mom, when she was alive, she actually majored in art therapy. She never got a degree, but that
Wow.
majored in was art therapy. And I feel like you're on this side and you can like see my notes, because the second thing is build small, consistent habits, like journaling, daily walks, one task per day. Um, it's like you're just right here and you can just like see my notes on this side. But yeah, yeah.
Daily walks is so important. When I was in the wheelchair and doing therapy, COVID hit. And so we had to do everything virtually. They gave me an iPad, and it was like crazy. But one of the things that helped me kind of heal was going in nature.
hmm
And we would take trips to national parks. I had to be in nature. I had to be doing things. I had to be moving somehow. So my man would, push me around in the wheelchair, and we'd take trips to national parks. And I started seeing how inaccessible the national parks, some of them were. And so that led me to creating one of my favorite projects ever, the Disabled Photographer Project and How Accessible is Accessible series. And I started making blogs and writing, making videos and writing blogs about inaccessibility and how accessible is accessible.
Hey.
Right. And sometimes you go through things in life and you don't understand why you're going through what you're going through. But I feel like what I went through led me to creating one of the most important projects in my life, which has not just helped me, it was bigger than me. It helped so many people. And so whenever you go through something in life, that's why I said acknowledgement is so important, because if you're acknowledging what you're going through and how you're feeling, it could lead you to something that you
Solution.
weren't even thinking about, you know what I mean? And so I'm touching on it a little bit in my comedy, and I'm working on my hour set, and that's going to be part of it. It took years to find the funny in what I went through, but to me, um, you know, comedy is heightened drama. It's heightened drama.
Mhm.
So, when you find the funny in whatever it is you experience in life, there's ways that you can use that to not just heal yourself, but help other people heal and laugh about what they're going through,
They're like,
which
not
is
just me. You got issues too. Look at God.
I don't think there's anybody in this life who doesn't have something. You know what I mean? And the people who try to walk around acting like they're perfect, it's like, come on. We all have something. We all have trauma. We all have struggle. We all have, that's what's made us who we are, though. That's what's made us strong. That's what's made us better.
Yeah, the people that don't acknowledge it are usually the real nutcases. Like, you might want to acknowledge that before you, that's how we get little shooters and everything. People run around naked. That's how we get them, because they think they perfect. So yeah. Oh wow, this is a very good conversation. Number 3, a third way to overcome adversity is cultivate the support that you have. Ask for help. Identify like 3 people that can help you in 3 types of supports they can give you: emotional, physical, expert. It's okay to ask for help. A lot of times
Absolutely.
people are afraid to ask for help. Why do you think that is?
I think that there's a lot of reasons. I feel blessed that I had a really strong support system. My partner for 20 years, my mother, the therapist who helped me, my lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who are afraid to ask for help. I think for a number of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I don't know, are they somehow feel like less than. If I ask somebody for help, then I'm not in control, or I'm not the powerful person that I think I am. And it's like, I feel like we all need help at some point in our life, and it's okay to ask for help. And psychologically, there could be so many different reasons why people don't ask for help. It could be past experiences, it could be trauma, from trust issues. It could be a lot of different things, right?
Oh yeah.
Your eyes got all big when I said trust.
Well, who do not ask for help? That's why I asked you to answer the question. I'm one of them folks. I gotta be stretching out. Okay. Now my husband, I'll ask him for some help in a second. But anybody else, I don't really ask for help, because first of all, I don't want people to judge me.
Right.
Like, oh, she can't do that. Or I don't want to bring people out of their comfort zone. Like, if they're like, sometimes, just like how you said, being there for your mom, being there for your sister, that's how I've always been, to a detriment sometimes. Like, sometimes I care about other people, so I become this people pleaser, and it's like,
Right.
I don't want them to feel uncomfortable by me asking.
Or you don't want people to be in your business either.
That.
It's because people love to get in other people's business and then create drama, and it's like it has nothing to do with them. But like, I feel blessed that my man is like my main support system, and I've helped him through things, and he's helped me through things, and I trust him with my life, and he trusts me with his life, and my mom, the same thing. It's like, you have to have people in your life that are your strength and your foundation, that you really genuinely trust, who aren't going to judge you, who aren't going to hurt you, who know that they're not going to judge you, who they're not going to create unnecessary drama and stress and add to that. Like, if people are adding stress to your life, those aren't the right people to have in your life.
You have to figure out who you can trust. And that's why the depression I went through was so deep because my brother, he was one of those people that I trusted. I leaned on him for everything.
Mm-hmm.
He leaned on me for everything. So it's very important to have a person you can straight up trust, because like you could end up with the wrong person. They can mess up your
Mm-hmm.
life, like jack up everything. You living with this person and they can burn down the whole house because you didn't let them in. So you got to be careful with who you trust. That's why when people are dating, I always would say collect the data and then make a decision, because
Right.
they'll show you they're crazy. Just give them a few days; they'll show you.
Yep. I always say you got to be careful who you're going to let in your house because they will rob you blind, you know?
Mm, you preach it. You preach it. They will, even if you ain't got nothing in the house, they will find. They be like, "Oh, 2 pennies on
Hmm.
the bucket."
So yeah, I think trust is a important one.
You gotta trust. And let me see, number 4, develop emotional regulation tools. That's another way to overcome adversity. Like you were saying, like we were saying, you have to have these tools so that when something does come at you, because it will, you will be prepared. You'll be full inside of your spirit and your body and your mind, and you can be able to overcome or find a way to conquer it. Like the box breathing I was talking about. If you wake up and do that every day, that can help a lot, because these tools are very they're needed.
Absolutely. I start my day by meditating, breathing, and stretching, and I end my day by meditating, breathing, and stretching. And it's so important for me to, how you start your day,
Hmm.
is how the rest of the day is going to flow, I think. And so, whether um, sometimes I start my day with positive affirmations, and the first thing I say when I wake up is, I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for this moment. As I'm breathing and meditating, having gratitude, like gratitude is the best attitude, because when
Yes.
you're grateful, it kind of puts your mindset is frame of mind is the name of my third album, actually. And uh it's I've always had this belief that the power of the mind is an incredible gift that we have, and your thoughts determine how your life is going to be,
Hmm.
and your thoughts and the words, like, are so important that you tell yourself about yourself and that you put out there in the universe is you know they I noticed that, when they say spelling, when you spell a word, you're actually casting spells by the words that you use in your own life. And so,
Yeah.
having positive thoughts and using positive words when you speak about yourself, when you speak about other people, when you speak about your projects, when you
Mhm.
know, is a big one for me. It's everything. Like, words matter.
Do. Like I've always said, whatever you feed will grow, and it'll be nourished and everything. Whatever you starve will die. And it's very important every day to focus on starving negativity and feeding positivity. And sometimes people think that it's too late, but it's not too late. Like there are studies that show whenever you meditate, whenever you do different tools like journaling or whatever, it it rebuilds the plasticity in your brain. So you're
Right.
renewing your brain and making it better if you choose to do that. But if you choose to not, then it's going to continue to be jacked up. But you can reverse a lot of mental health issues just by having gratitude, just by waking up and writing in your journal. I used to have a gratitude journal. So you, Denise, you get me together. I feel like, girl, I've been in therapy in 3 months because of my insurance. I feel like you get me together and making me get back on the ball, because I do. I used to, years ago, I used to wake up, write in my gratitude journal, and the whole day would be good. Even if something come at you, you would see it coming at
Right.
you, but it wouldn't be like, oh God. It'll be like, oh, okay, I see what that is.
Right. It wouldn't be the end of the world. It would just be
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
this is.
I
But
see the lesson in that, or I see what's going on,
yeah,
or
but for
okay, it's I don't know. I feel like the more you have positive thoughts, you're reprogramming your brain, as you mentioned, and the more that you train yourself and your spirit and your mind to kind of see life in a certain way and experience life in a certain way, and you attract what you are. You know, people sometimes, you know, sit and gripe and say, how come, you know, bad things, you know, there's always negative things happen to me. But if you have a negative attitude, that's what you're attracting, because that's who you are. If you have a positive attitude, that's what you're attracting. So you're going to attract good things because you're within your soul and your spirit and your mind and your being. If you're a positive person and a good person, you're attracting that energy, because everything in this universe is energy, right? And so you attract who you are, you know. And so I make an effort, you know, even when I feel like or in pain or whatever, I make an effort to come back to my center and take a breath and to, you know, acknowledge how I'm feeling and to look at the beautiful side of life, because, you know, life is beautiful if you see it. You know, it can be beautiful.
The fact that you live in life is the fact that it's beautiful, because
right.
have not woken up this morning and we have this right now moment, and that's all we have. And that's such a beautiful thing to be able to say, here, this is what's happening at this moment, and we are living life. And like, we could have not been here, but you are here in spite of not being able to walk for 3 years, in spite of everything that you've been through. You're still here, and that is
a darn tooth infection.
It's a beautiful testimony. You're gonna get food, you're gonna drink all the smoothies that you need to drink, and you're gonna get through
it. But you know, look at you, like through your adversity, you've created this podcast, right? And so it's in helping yourself, you're helping other people, including me. I was so looking forward to this and looking forward to our conversation, and I'm truly grateful, and my cheeks hurt from smiling and us laughing and sharing, you know, the journey. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yes,
know?
I'm definitely looking forward to interviewing you on here, because I saw your website. I said, oh, this girl is for real. She is not playing around.
No, because to me, it's like, you know, I'm an artist who creates because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my being. It's like breathing to me. And so many people get caught up in being famous or going viral or winning a trophy or winning awards. And it's like, I just want to be me. I just want to be happy. I just want to create, and I just want to flow, and I just want to make the most of every moment, and every moment's an opportunity. And
it is.
Right.
Yeah. That's read called The Purpose Driven Life.
Right.
As a Christian, it's like God created us for a purpose. And if we're not operating that purpose, then we're not living the way we're supposed to live. Like, there's a scripture where he actually, and I'm not good at the Bible, but he actually got rid of a fig tree, I think, because it wasn't producing figs. So it's like, what are you producing? Are you living the life that God created you to live? Are you producing what you need to produce as the person that he created you? Or are you not? You know, like, it's all about that. Like, everything is created for a purpose.
Right.
Light that's lighting me. If it's not lighting, I'm throwing it away. Like, why do I, you know? This book.
I love that point though. We all have a purpose in this life, you know, and the only way you're going to find your purpose is by focusing on yourself.
Yes.
We live in a world where everybody's always focusing on what everybody else is doing, and everybody's in everybody else's business, and they're miserable because of it. And it's like, no, if you stop for a moment and realize we all have a purpose in this life, do the work, do some digging, find out who you are, find out about yourself, and find out what makes you happy, find out what makes you tick, and find out what your purpose is by focusing on yourself and doing the work. And when you do that,
be the best you that you can be. Like, whenever I do comedy, I would say most of the time at the end of it, that you have your own purpose and you have your own fingerprint. So you are an asset to this world, and know that. Like, you don't have to compare yourself to other people.
Right.
I've never wanted, all the stuff I've been through, I've never wanted to be somebody else.
No, me neither. It's like my whole journey has been, you know, discovering who I am and how strong I am and what can I do to improve myself and make myself not just a better artist, but a better person.
Mhm.
And you know, every trip that I've ever taken, every place that I've ever lived, and everything that I've ever done in my life, and everything that I've ever created has
Mhm.
been to find my own voice. And you
Mhm.
know, our voices are constantly evolving as we get older. And I've never wanted to be anybody else. I've never wanted to copy anybody else, because I want to be me. And you know, we live in a world where everybody's always trying to copy what everybody else is doing with like the comedy AI posters. They're so cheesy. They all look the same. It's like, don't you want to be your unique self
It's
and
like,
look like yourself and do your own comedy? And with AI, like people are copying each other's jokes, and it's like, come on, like as a creator and as a writer and as a comedian and as an artist, you should be create your posters, create your jokes, like write your jokes and create your characters and discover who you are and love yourself.
yeah, I have not been a comedian as long as you. I've only been doing it for 4 years. But when my first year, people were taking my jokes, and I'm like, I don't
Mhm,
even know what I'm doing.
mhm,
How you taking?
mhm.
I'm like,
Because they're lazy. Like I've girl, I saw somebody do my jokes to my face. I've had people like come up to me and say, "Oh, I tried your joke and it didn't hit." And it's like, why are you doing my jokes? Number one, and number two, you took a piece of the joke. You didn't even get like to set up the premise and the tags and the
no,
punchline. Like it ain't gonna work because it's not your voice. It's not your experience. You didn't write it. Like, but
well,
you know, that's it's yeah, that's another topic.
back on here, we talk about that because that happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number
I just see when I see people like copying other people's jokes, and I've seen it a lot, it's laziness. It's they don't want to do the work that it takes. Like I started doing stand up in 2013. Here
Mhm,
we are today, and I'm still writing and rewriting some of my old jokes and
mhm,
finding how they flow together with my new jokes and moving things around in my sets. And I write things down in index cards and I try things out.
mhm.
And, you know, part of the journey and the experience and your evolution as a comedian should be to write your own from your point of view. That's how you find your voice, not by copying what somebody else did. That's not your voice, that's their voice, you know. So you know, that's their lesson. But I see it too often, like too
Yeah.
often. And it's happened to me so many times that I stopped going to certain mics, because at certain mics they're the same people are stealing
It's so
everybody's jokes. It's not just my jokes, it's everybody's jokes. And I'm like, I ain't going there.
you
You
be
know,
like,
I'd rather take a class where everybody's professional in the class and everybody's
yeah,
paying to go to a class
just do
with
the
the same mentality and the same professionalism to learn how to write and to learn how to put it together, you know?
yeah, it's so frustrating. Like you don't even want to do your jokes in front of people because you're like, oh, they're gonna try to steal
Hmm.
a joke. And that's happened to me. Like I barely go to open mics like I used to. And I want to go consistently, but I
Right.
barely go. And whenever I do go, I'll be like, That sounds like something I said. What is happening?" You know, what is we doing? That's not how I said it, but that is they
Right.
say it like
Yeah,
me.
I pick and choose what mics I go to now, and I don't even post where I'm going anymore, because there's just crazy people out there, you know, that will do crazy things. And it's like, I just want to focus on myself and, you know, keep creating and keep writing and keep performing. And I spread out my shows so I have time to give my fans and followers time to, you know, determine when they want to come see me. And I used to, as a producer, I used to produce shows. So, you know, I understand the business side of comedy too, you know.
Me and my
But
husband learning. We actually have a show coming up,
awesome.
Laugh-formations. We're starting a new concept where instead of people roasting, they will be finding affirmations for people.
I love it. Great title and great concept. Thank you. Like that's amazing.
Don't nobody try to steal
Right.
it.
Good luck with that, because
Oh,
it's a good title and a good concept, and the world needs more positivity. You know, I see a lot of roast battles out there, and I'm not going to bash anybody, but it's not my thing. You know, it's
not my thing either. And it's
got
gonna be like acting and stuff too. Like we're gonna It's gonna be different parts to it, and people got to come and see.
Yes, I wish I lived closer to you. I'd be there.
Me too. You would, Denise. So our last thing of how to overcome adversity would be align your actions with your values and your goals. Values provide motivation and direction when energy is low. So just focus on your values and your goals to try to get through that. So we hope that we gave y'all 5 ways to overcome adversity. We
Write
got
down your goals. Writing down your goals helps you achieve them, and
you,
it helps you stay focused.
yeah, girl, you get me back together, child. I didn't feel off for exercise and
We help each other.
I'm about to get it together. I'm about to run 10 miles. I'm about to go find something to eat that's fatty. I'm just playing.
Pizza.
And tearup.com at early in the morning. Well, it's early in the morning where you are, but
Yeah, I'm like still having my coffee.
yeah, it's 2 something here. Child, if it was early in the morning, I'd be like, you know what? Can you you have to catch me later, Dani. Yeah, you was ready. You even tagged me and collaborated me in my own flyer. I said, "Oh, shit."
I'm a morning person, so I've been up, pretty early, and like I said, I'm on the road. I'm not in my house, so
Yeah,
I've been up since the crack of dawn. So I was excited. I just had
it
to.
was energy for us because I'm over
Yeah.
here. So Denise, it was a pleasure having you on my show. Can you tell us where can we find you? Any websites, any new shows coming up, anywhere we can find your songs, all that good stuff.
So my main hub, my home plate is my official website, www.denisevasquezentertainment.com. Social media, my main home base on social media is Instagram. Denise Vasquez Official is my main page on Instagram. I just released a trailer for a TV web series that I wrote called Karma is Coming. So the trailer released today, this morning. You can find it on my Instagram, and from there you can go to the YouTube channel for Karma is Coming. What else? I have a show, a stand-up comedy show at Flappers on June 20th. And I was also in a movie playing the role of Jess in a film called 20% that is doing its worldwide premiere on June 19th in Las Vegas, and I'm very excited. And you can learn more about all of that on my Instagram or on my official website. And thank you so much for having me. This was an amazing conversation and very inspiring morning. Thank you, Dani.
Clappy clap. Thank you, Denise, for being on the show. We hope to have you back another time as well. This is a great conversation, and we pray that you have a great time in where are you at again?
Well, I'm based in the Las Vegas area, but I'm on the road right now. So right now I'm in Ventura, California.
Ventura. Oh, I love California. Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could just
I love California too. I lived in California for over 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
So
It's expensive. That's why I haven't moved there.
right. We'll see if I end up back there. It is a little pricey, but I ventured to California very often for acting work, for stand-up comedy, and for other projects and work. So I'm always going back to California, even though I'm based in Henderson, Nevada. But yeah, I love traveling, so I don't mind it. I'm like, let's go.
Me
I'm
too.
a traveling gypsy spirit. I left home when I was 17, but that's a whole nother conversation. I've lived in Scotland, London, the Virgin Islands, LA, San Diego, Yucca Valley, and now Nevada. And I was born and raised in New York City. So that's my mom's fault. She put me on a plane to Puerto Rico when I was a kid. So
So after that, she was like, "It's on and popping. I'm going everywhere I need to go." I never heard of Yucca, child.
Yucca Valley is near Joshua Tree.
Okay, never
You
heard
heard of Joshua Tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's like, mm-hmm. tiny little town.
That's so sweet. Well, Denise, I'm glad you came. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad it was a great show. I could not have done it without you. And I pray you have a beautiful, blessed day. And hopefully, we'll see you again.
Hearts.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Thank you. Bye. That was a wonderful show, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. People have been asking me about the thing that I have not done in a while. So we're gonna do that really quick and then we're gonna get out of it. Let me see. Drum roll. Grief is ghetto. So we about to do a quick episode of Grief is Ghetto with Takesha. I still ain't thought about her name for real. I think it's Taquisha or something. And let's get to it. Let's get to it. So, my daddy said, that I don't know if y'all remember the last time I came on here because it was a while that I came on here. It was a very long time, and I was talking about how my daddy went missing. So, um, recently, my daddy said that he cared, and I guess he did because he got me that 25-cent juice and chip bag once a week with those paper stamps he got from the government. It was rare for a man to get food stamps, but my daddy, he got food stamps because he used the rest of them for drugs, and he called the drugs roaches. And so, yeah, my daddy, he was the first black man to get food stamps. Um, and the roaches, they were like small and white. They wasn't like real roaches that crawl up on your couch and your TV when you have company, like you be sitting there minding your business, and then the company come over, and then the roach just crawl across the TV. It wasn't that type of roach. It was like a roach that was inside of a roach, which was actually small and white. But I ain't never seen no white roaches before, so I didn't understand what my daddy meant. I never seen them move or anything. But my daddy, he tried his best. He got us bologna. He had got us bologna with them food stamps. You just pull them out the thing. It was like money, and it was different colors. And he would get that, and he would get us fried bologna. He would get us sauteed bologna. He would get us bologna pasta, bologna tacos, bologna bites. He would just always buy us bologna. I got tired of bologna because I felt like it was making my gout act up at the age of 10, but I had to eat whatever he had to offer with them food stamps. I remember when the bed bug had bit me, and daddy said, it's just meant that I'm a good person. I never figured out what that meant because I never got bit as a grown up. As a grown up, I never had bed bugs on my own, but yeah. There was this one time that Tyrone, he bit me when I was grown, but he went ghost and he never called me back. Thank you for tuning in to Grief is Ghetto. Yeah. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. I done lost my little earring. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. We had Denise. Thank you, Denise, again for coming in and being our special guest. Next week we have comedian Hannah Abbey, and we're going to be talking about from shame to strength, overcoming depression. So yeah, we're gonna have that next week. And please, if you are in the Detroit area, in East Point, Macomb County area, come look us up. Go to Keisha'sComedyHouse.com and get your tickets to our Laughformation comedy show on Father's Day. My throat is all jacked up. My throat is jacked up. But get your tickets to our Laughformation comedy show on Father's Day. I promise you, you will have a lot of fun. We got Smiley Adams, very funny comedian. And we got Toy Too Tall, another very funny comedian. We wanted to have our closest friends on here first and have a good old time. Bring daddy to the Laffirmation. If you know your daddy, then bring him to the Laffirmation. If you don't know him, then bring him to the Laffirmation. If it's not your biological daddy and he's just somebody you call daddy because y'all freaky like that, then bring him too. Bring him too. So I hope you guys have fun. Always remember that you are an asset to this world. Can't nobody be you or do you like you. You don't have to compare yourself to nobody. And I pray you have a beautiful week. Remember those box breathing when somebody gets on your nerves or even before somebody gets on your nerves. And see you Father's Day. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week.
You don't know what to do. Come and take a seat, my friend. Kick it with Dani Luv. Kick it with Dani Luv. Kick it with Dani Luv. Healing one day at a time. Sit on down. You